Hello and welcome back. Now this video is recorded immediately after where the other ones left off. I just went down to the bus stop to pick up my daughter and then came back home and started this second video. She hopped in the car and she told me she's not talking to me. I said to her, I wish you would have told me that before I came to pick you up, because I would have texted back to you and said, no, I'm not picking you up, just walk. She doesn't like to walk because there's a steep uphill our driveway, a very steep uphill. Anyway, the reason she's not speaking to me is she wanted to go to a friend's place to play after school today. So I said to her, well, you can, but you have to be home by 5:30 because it's still winter here in New Zealand. It's very much winter, and it's dark by 5:30 at the moment. So I said, now you've got to catch a bus home and you'll have to be home by 5:30, so that's when it gets dark, and I don't want you walking home from the bus stop in the dark on your own. She wasn't happy with that. She wanted to stay later than that, and normally every time she goes to a friend's place after school, she ends up texting us wanting us to pick her up, but I knew that my wife and I are both very, very tired this week. I knew neither one of us was going to be in the mood to go out and pick her up, so, which is why I said to her, as long as you're home by 5:30, you have to catch the bus home. So she decided, well, I'll try and play mum and dad off against each other, and mum might offer me a better deal. So she got hold of my wife and said, can I go to my friend's place after school? And my wife said, you can, but only if Dad's willing to pick you up, because I don't want you coming home on the bus in this weather. So she tried to play us off against one another to get the best deal, and ended up being a worse deal. So then she texted me back, please Dad, please, 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 can you pick me up? I said, no, I'm tired, it's been a long, hard week. I just want to sit down and make some videos, so no, I'm not going to pick you up. So that's why she's not speaking to me. No, I'm sure that'll pass by dinner time, I'm certain, so I'm not worried. Ooh, roadworks. I'm pretty sure that it's got that random event thing turned on, and I think I've got it turned to about 40%, I think, from memory. So I get quite a number of random events, but I don't get every single one. Like if you have it set at 100%, every single random thing that can happen, like roadworks or cops pulling people over and things, is happening. So there's no randomness to it, because it's just everywhere. So I think I've got it set to about 40%. So I get them quite regularly because I do enjoy seeing them and having them. It, you know, just adds a bit more to the game. But I didn't want it set too high so that they're just there all the time. Anyway, I've finished telling you about my friend in Bulgaria. I want to tell you about Tuesday night now. So on Tuesday was my son's birthday, and he turned 22. So we took him out for dinner for his birthday. I'm just going to pause here for a moment. One moment. So what I want to do is, now thank you very much AK. The map I'm about to show you is thanks to AK. He already knows some of the story that I'm going to tell you, but he did a map, and I want to show you the map. If I go, so this is the way I get out of a game sort of thing. Oh no, with Farming Simulator, if you do that, it takes you out of the menu altogether. Task Manager. Oh look, I can probably do it from here anyway. So let's bring up this map. Yes, I can do it. Okay, pictures. So thank you very much AK for doing this map. He was actually doing it to answer my question, and so he knows half the story I'm about to share, but because I had typed it out to him, I didn't want to type the whole thing. So this here is Petone. This is where my wife and I took our son for dinner. This here is where we live, so that's north of Petone, and this here is a place called Days Bay. So this is Stokes Valley where we live, and this is Days Bay. Okay, now you need to understand that for this story I'm about to tell you to make a lot of sense, but you've now seen that, so we'll go back to the truck driving and I'll continue with the story. So anyway, we took our son out to Petone for dinner, and after dinner I said to him, the road at Days Bay, because it's going around the coastline, it's quite a twisty road, lots and lots of fun in a sports car, of course, and because we had our daughter with us as well, one of our daughters, the youngest one, and we had to take two cars to dinner. So myself and our son was in one car, and my wife and our youngest daughter was in the other. Now my wife and I quite often do the Days Bay route on the way home, because it's such a nice road in a sports car, all nice twisty curves, and especially at night time, it's gorgeous views, big open sky, and how dare that person pass me? I wasn't going that slow, was I? I suppose I'm not speeding for once in my life, but normally in this game I'm speeding all the time pretty much, but I wasn't just then. So I announced to my son, okay, we'll go home by the quickest route. And we started heading south down Days Bay. And he turns to me and says, Dad, how can this possibly be the quickest route home? I said, well, simple, son. The speed limit along some of this road is 70 kilometres an hour, whereas the speed limit on the road up to Stokes Valley is 50 kilometres an hour. Now, everybody knows that 70 is faster than 50, and therefore this has to be the quickest route. He said, yes, but Dad, we're heading in a southerly direction, and the destination we want to get to is to the north. I said, it makes no difference. 70 is always faster than 50, no matter which direction of travel it is. You know, north, 70 is faster than 50. South, 70 is faster than 50. East or west, 70 is faster than 50. So he maintained we weren't going by the quickest route because we were heading in a southerly direction at 70. I maintained we were taking the quickest route because we were doing 70. And I said, and here's further evidence that I've chosen the quickest route. So of course, going out Days Bay, it's a big long dead-end road, so eventually when you get right out there, you just have to turn around and come back down the same road again. As a result, that road's very, very quiet and there's no traffic on it. And I said, if we'd gone straight up Stokes Valley, we'd be stuck in traffic, or it would be fairly heavy traffic on the road. Whereas here we've got a very, very quiet road with no traffic on it. And again, everybody knows that roads that are very quiet with hardly any traffic on it are always faster than roads that are really, really busy and full of traffic. Still didn't convince them entirely that heading in a southerly direction was going to be faster, a quicker way home. And anyway, later on when we were heading back up towards Stokes Valley, we were going along parallel to a railway track. There's a train, and I said to him, well, I've discovered another town. That's good. Love discovering towns. So I said to him, here's further proof of how, much progress we're making in the getting home quickly. So we just passed a train. And he said, Dad, the train was travelling in the opposite direction from us. And I said, aye, that's true, but the train was ahead of us and now it's behind us. So I'm counting that as a successful passing manoeuvre. So we passed a train. So yeah, he's still not convinced that the way we went, I mean, if we'd driven straight home from Petone, it would have been a half-hour drive. The way we went, it was probably an hour and a quarter, an hour and a half. But I still maintain that we went the quickest way home because the speed limit was faster, the road was clearer, and therefore it had to be the quickest way home. And he still maintains that it wasn't because we went in completely the wrong direction, and therefore it took a lot longer time. So yes, but that's the kind of craziness you get with me. I'm, always come up with these crazy harebrained schemes. I told my wife once, she's, I think, 5 foot. Oh, time to take your. Oh, sleep. Okay. So we're looking for a bed now, and there's one just around the corner there, I can see. My wife is 5 foot 7, I think she is, and I told her that I wanted to stick a chair leg on the wall in the hallway, poking out from the hall at a height of 5 foot 6.5. So it was just in the right spot that she'd hit her head on it basically every time she every time she tried to walk past. And I said, I want to stick a sign on it that says duck, so you don't hit your head on it. She goes, what would be the point of that, Russell? And I said, well, the chair leg's to hold the sign, because you can't stick a sign up just hanging it in mid-air, so it has to be attached to something, and the sign is to warn you about the chair leg. So isn't that, fairly obvious why I won't do it? The chair leg to hold the sign, because you can't have a chair leg there with no warning sign. Oh, I think we've just overshot the sleeping part of it slightly. Right, here we go. And the handbrake, wipers, Wipers again. Lights. Engine. Engine. Now sleep. Okay, what's the time now? So it would take us to 2:22 in the morning. Let's sleep a bit longer than that because I don't really want it to be dark when we 5:32. Let's sleep for 12 hours. So I'm not really worried about whether we get the load to its destination in time or not. I'd rather have the. Oh, that's right. Stupid me. We didn't have to sleep that long. Seeing this here reminds me that driver told me that this far north on the map, it's basically daylight almost all the time. So we could have actually slept less time, gone the road sooner, and we still would have had daylight. Oh well, it's done now. What's done is done. Okay. So now I've got to get back onto. Huh? Why is it telling me to turn left there? Because I turned off onto this road specially because of the sleepy area. So I think I'm going to go right, even though the map says to go left. Oh, maybe this is a loop road. Oops. Let's remember which side of the road we might be on. That would be handy. It's quite funny actually that happening because I'm so used to watching farming videos where both AK and Fury Machine Gaming are driving along on the right hand side of the road, forgetting they're on an Irish map or something similar, and having traffic coming towards them. Here I am doing the opposite, driving on the left hand side of the road, which is what feels natural to me, and suddenly realising I'm on the wrong side of the road for where I am. I just want to have a look at the map here for a second, because I think the fact it told me to go left out of that driveway, not right, I'm guessing means that must be a loop road or something. No, it doesn't seem to be. No, see because the sleeping area was right about there. So if I turn left like it told me, unless there's another road down here that's not marked. Oh, now it's going to send me all the way around here, I think. And that would be a lot longer than the way we're going. So I don't know why it was telling me to turn left out of that sleeping bay, but I'm glad I ignored that and turned right. So yeah, so we're doing all right here. We've got about 2/3 of a tank of gas. Now what I used to do in this game, I don't do it so much now, but I used to treat the fuel tank as only 2/3 of what it is. So I'd treat it as if it was empty when it was still 1/3 full. And the reason why is it seems to me I can go for 2 whole days between fill-ups. Now I've never been a truck driver or anything, but I would have thought that driving for 2 whole days, non-stop pretty much, except for stopping to sleep, would be way more than one diesel load of fuel. But perhaps driver can set me right on that, on what kind of fuel economy a truck gets and how much fuel it holds. Of course he would only know for America rather than Europe, but it'd be interesting to know, driver, if you're watching this and you want to answer it, like, do you need to fill up every day if you're, basically constantly driving, like, except when you're stopping for a rest break or a sleep? Would you need to fill up with diesel every day or every second day? What would be about the normal amount of diesel? Because in this game it seems to be about every second day to me, and it just seems a bit unrealistic. So I've always sort of treated that fuel tank in the past as only being 2/3 the size it is. But since we're travelling even further distances now, especially now they've got these new maps where we're driving a lot further distances because we've got a lot further we can go, I might start treating the fuel tank as the size it actually is and running it right down sometimes, just depending on, in all honesty, since it's down to almost half now, if I saw a fuel stop, if there was a fuel stop right there, I'd probably stop and use it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to look for one at the moment because it's not like we urgently need it. But yeah, next time I see one I might stop and grab some diesel. But as you can see, the reason I don't think I've quite finished playing around with my steering wheel yet is I've definitely stopped it from being too twitchy, so I'm not, the truck's not swerving every time I bump the steering wheel, even just slightly. But the dead spot seems to be perhaps a wee bit too big now, so the truck seems to sort of move in lines almost like I'm driving with a keyboard, but I'm not. I'm driving with a steering wheel, but the way it's looking is as if I'm driving with a keyboard instead. Just going to overtake this logging track and hope nothing comes along in the meantime. Seems to be pretty clear road, so we're alright. Oh, look at that. You don't get much warning before something suddenly appears on the road in front of you like that, but that's okay, we managed it. We managed it. Oh, whoa. Okay. So, yeah, driver's right though. Some of the views up in this part of the country, this part of the world, these are really glorious looking views, I must say. It's a shame I forgot that he told me it was daylight. I think he said about 22 hours of the day or something when you're this far north on the map. I think he said 22 hours of daylight. Driver, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but certainly he said that, you know, a lot of the night time is still daylight. So yeah, I could have made the most of that and driven a lot steps less, so I got back on the road sooner. But, ooh, I must have sideswiped the car that just went past me. Never mind, that's why I want to get some more drivers on the job now to build up my cash reserves some more, so that I can, you know, quick move to places, buy garages in order to quick move there and then sell them again afterwards if I want to. And I don't need to worry about the amount of money I'm spending. Although if I'm buying more garages, I can start buying some that are strategic to places I might want to move fast to. So where are we going? This looks like a fairly major turn off here.
Continue
Is it?
straight.
No? Okay. Okay. Yeah, loving these views, driver. Thank you for recommending this map to me. Loving these views. But yeah, I've got, as I said, and as I showed you on the map, I bought a lot of new map packs in the Steam summer sale, so I'll probably get a few more trucking videos yet. Hope people don't mind. I will intersperse them with some other videos, so I want to do some more on that bumpy ride train game. I want to do some more farming. I want to get a 3 Farmateer one out. I also want to... I haven't played Belly Spring for a long time. I've still got my game saved there, but I just played it so much. I just felt like giving Belly Spring a rest since I'd gone onto Ballincraig instead, and I'm in the mood to go back to Belly Spring now. So we'll do a wee bit of the 3 Farmateers on Arley Farm, or however it's pronounced. I think it's Arley, something like that. I probably can't get the right kind of sound. I was told by someone that's like a pirate would say, you know, by matey kind of thing, followed by Lee. All I know for certain is it's not Eggerly, which is the way it looks like it is, but it's not Eggerly, so it's Arley Farm. But I don't think I can get the, I can't roll my tongue, so I probably can't get the right sound. But yeah, it's kind of like the kind of you get from a pirate, saying, my mateys, like that, followed by Lee. But so yeah, we'll do another video of the 3 Farmateers, and then we might just go back to Belly Spring and do a video there. It's been so long since I've been on that Belly Spring map, I don't even remember what season I'm up to, or what jobs I've got on the horizon to do, so it'll be interesting to go back and have a look at that. Checking everything here. One thing I do quite like about this game is that the AI traffic does seem to pay attention to your indicators and even your horn sometimes. So, like, you'll notice that I've got my right hand mirrors there, but I don't have any left hand mirrors superimposed on the screen. Okay, and you might think, well, that's really awkward, because if I want to check my left mirrors, I've got to move the mouse over, sort of thing. But in actual fact, I don't really use my left mirrors. What I do instead, so let's say this is a 4-lane road and I want to move on to the other lane. If I indicate for a moment first before I move, which you meant to be doing anyway, anything that's coming up behind me will actually slow down to let me in. So that means that the indicators aren't just for fun, but they're actually something that you need to do. Actually, I wonder if that car pulled over just then because I indicated. Probably not, but anyway, we'll overtake him anyway. There we go. But yes, it does mean, because I don't have mirrors on the left hand side on my screen here permanently, so I do have to use my indicators to clear that lane out before I change lanes and things. Well, I've finished telling you that story that I wanted to tell you, and we've seen some more of this beautiful view here. What I might do, because the video is probably getting a bit so yeah, the video's up to 20 minutes, so maybe we'll stop this video now. I'm not going to stop driving yet, but we'll stop the video and I'll carry on doing some more driving for a bit, and then we will, maybe after dinner, make a farming video, either the 3 Farmateers one or the Billy Spring. But thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you again later. Bye.